What's good, family, and welcome to Enjoy the Journey. I am your host, DeVante Lamont, and today I have with me Jasmine Jewell Washington, who is a self-published children's book author, and she's doing some great things, not only in Atlanta, but all over the world and the state. How are you, Jasmine?
I'm doing great, Devontae. First of all, I just have to thank you again for this opportunity. I'm so excited. As we kind of were talking about earlier, I am introverted, so I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to be
no, let me tell you something. I'm introverted too.
See,
so we here. We here. So like, and it's so amazing just meeting you and just seeing the humility that you have,
Thank you.
and to see your heart posture. When I tell you, the honor goes to me.
Oh my gosh, thank you
Honor
so
goes
much.
to me. So let's talk about Jasmine. So you are a self-published author. How did you get on the road to becoming a self-published author?
Oh my gosh. So I actually began writing at a very early age.
Wow.
I think I want to say I started taking my writing more seriously when I was around 10 years old. I would write poetry for hours. Eventually that transitioned over into stories. And I have one story in particular that I can remember.
Oh.
So when I was in fifth grade, I remember we were in math class and we had a tutor, and as with tutors, sometimes they're like, hey, just do whatever, right? So he gave us some numbers and he was like, just come up with something with these numbers. Of course, he wanted us to do something along the lines of math. But me being me, I created a story around the numbers, and the numbers went on an adventure. Yes, and so I found out that this tutor, he actually had connections with the local newspaper.
Wow.
And he published my story in the local newspaper.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is huge.
Yeah.
I love, hold on, the numbers went on an adventure. Can I hear about at least one of the numbers?
So the number 5, the story from what I can recall basically started off with him being trapped somewhere. He had to get out and find the rest of his family, which was other numbers, obviously. And they go on this adventure trying to find everyone and solve a mystery of what happened. And he was just like blown away. And for me, I was like, this is just something I enjoy and I do for fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So has writing, I'm sorry, I'm excited. I'm so sorry. Is the writing, so does that just come natural for you?
It always has. It's always been a passion for me. So I will tell you, anything, really involving artistry has always been something that I've been intrigued in. So from writing to singing at an early age, I kind of always put those hand in hand, and I figured out a way to bridge them over the years. So as I said, I wrote poetry. And then when I got into songwriting in my teen years, I kind of found a way to connect the two because it's something that I really had a passion for and I enjoyed it for a long time. And I did it for many years. But I will say that I feel like when you truly have a gift that God wants you to use for a specific purpose, I think it will always find its way back to you. Ooh. And, sometimes that can be in a different form, but I feel like that's something to really ponder on because what we feel we want to use our gift for may not be the way that God intends, right? Ooh. And but I say that, Devontae, because for me, for so many years, I wanted to pursue, being a singer-songwriter. I took a break from that and I had kids. Obviously, life changed. But here it is, now I'm writing children's stories, and that means so much to me, and it's added a new meaning to my writing. So, yeah.
Can I just tell you that I resonate with that 100%. Just like you, I've spent half of my life as an artist. And so even to how people began to know who I was and what I do far as on the creative side, it was through that medium of a singing artist. Wow. And so now through the years, my purpose is still the same, but the mission has changed.
Exactly.
So now God has used me to be able to be in a space of communication with people. And though it's not through song, it's now through these conversations and doing life with people.
Exactly.
And so I think we talked about this a little earlier, how sometimes people will leave you in the last season that they knew you, and they are not up to date with the person who you are
Absolutely.
now and the person you are
Yes.
becoming. So how do you deal with that, or do you deal with that where you are dealing with individuals that maybe knew a past version of you but are not up to date with this new version of you, and then how do you handle that?
Honestly, I feel like this, and even with people that I may know or people that I'm beginning to know as they, come to find me as an author, I really feel like as humans, right? We are humans, so we get in our own head sometimes, right? And I think that oftentimes that can lead to us to being afraid to pursuing what it is that we love, right? And then we want to conform, right? But I think that one thing we need to remember is that whatever we do, if it's meaningful to us, it's going to be meaningful to someone else, and it's going to impact the right person, whoever it's meant to, right? And so I kind of try to focus on that and not so much on those who may not take to the person that I am today. Because I feel like if you don't, then maybe it's just I'm meant to go in a different direction, right? And that's okay.
Wow, I love that. So we were talking earlier, and I found out you have 2 children.
Yeah.
So tell me about your babies.
Oh my goodness, DeVante. Okay, for one, my daughter is 5 going on 15.
Okay, listen. So she running the house.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She absolutely is.
What's your baby name?
Her name is Amora.
Amora. That's a cute name.
Yes,
How'd you come up
so
with that?
much. Believe it or not, I had a dream about it.
Wow.
And I thought one of my other sisters were expecting with a little girl named Amora, and it turned out to be me. And my husband was like, "We have to go with that name. I love it."
Oh my God.
Yes, craziest
she's
story.
5.
And she's 5.
And the youngest.
And then my son, he's 3.
Oh.
Yes, and oh my God, she keeps us. I'm telling you, boys are another story. They really are. They really are.
Oh yes, we praying for all the mothers with boys. All right, we are praying for you. You just hold on.
Okay.
Hold on a little longer. Everything gonna be all right.
I'm telling you,
All
yes.
right, all right.
Yes.
We just have to encourage the people. Hey, but I didn't know you were married.
Yes, I am.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it'll be 7 years in September.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
So you're a wife and you're a mom. How does you being a wife and a mom affect your creativity as you being a writer?
So I would definitely say, especially when it comes to my children, just really wanting to write stories that I feel that they can relate to, and then even taking from what I see in there every day, right? So, for instance, like my daughter, she loves to paint. She loves anything involving creativity and art. And so that's why I kind of wrote my story, The Girl Who Loves to Paint. She was definitely an inspiration for that story.
Wow.
Yeah.
So speaking of The Girl Who Loves to Paint, when you wrote that book, what was the heart posture? Like, what do you want the kids reading that book to gain from it, to learn about their creativity?
So when I wrote this book, one thing that I really had in mind were, just children growing up in this generation and this society today. We know that we have social media, and I feel like it's a huge influence on children, wanting to emulate what someone else is doing, what they see someone else, being. And so for me, I really wanted to encourage individuality and knowing, wanting children to know, like, being different is your superpower. You don't have to look like the next person or talk like the next person, because we already have that. What do you have to offer? And so when I wrote this book, especially for Isabella, so I'll just, tell you a little bit about it. So she's a young girl. She loves to paint. Her paintings are outside of the ordinary. Wow. Her mom encouraged her to share her paintings in her art class one day. So she shares them, and it doesn't get the best reaction, right? So she becomes discouraged, and she's like, well, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. And so one thing her mom tells her in particular is, it takes courage to be different. Who you are is unique, and that is a gift. And so I want children to see that especially in today's society, being yourself, that is your superpower. Yeah. And that's something that is a gift that we all hold, right? We all have a different story to tell.
I love that.
And so I really, really wanted to encapsulate that in that story.
That is beautiful. Do you have a copy of the book with you?
I do.
Oh my God. Wait, can I see it?
Yes, of course.
Well, we got a physical copy, y'all.
Yes.
Period.
This is The Girl Who
Oh
Loves
my God. So y'all, this is the book, The Girl Who Loved to Paint.
Yeah.
The Girl Who Loved to Paint by Jasmine Jewell. Let me tell y'all something. You need to go to Amazon right
Yes.
now and order this book, okay? Go to Amazon and make sure you get this book. Can I read a page?
Yes, absolutely. I would
All
love
right.
for you to read a page.
We gonna have story time on Enjoy the Journey. All right.
For it.
So let me find a page. We can't be here all day. I just want to read a page. Okay. Give me a page to start on.
Okay.
Give me a page to start on. So let me tell you something. So I love books. I love books. I love to read, and I want to encourage those of you who are parents, those of you who are educators, to really introduce books back to your children.
Yes,
Reading
absolutely.
is so important. It's a lost art, but I love reading. So we about to have Enjoy the Journey story time. Matter of fact, you the author. The author is here.
I would love to.
Yeah. Can you read to the people?
Yes.
Read to the people.
So we have The Girl Who Loved to Paint, and I'll just read the first page. There were shades of magenta and splashes of blue, colors merging together to create something beautiful and new. Isabella's eyes filled with the reflection of a rainbow. As she looked down at the color palette before her, it seemed to glow.
Okay. Get the book.
And not to give away too much, kind of back to what we were talking about earlier, something that I wanted to really expound on in the story. So her being herself, she finds that it leads to her saving the day in her town. Wow. I don't want to give away what exactly happens. You'll have to get the book.
Okay. And where can they order the book?
So the book is available on Amazon and Lulu.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you also wrote a second book, and what is the title of the second book?
The title of the second book is Before We Sleep, and that book means a lot to me. It was actually my very, very first book that I wrote. Wow. And not to get sidetracked, so this story kind of came about because, like I told you, reading was also a passion of mine, and I want my children to kind of share that memory. You know, it's very special. Like you just said, you know, reading is something I feel that needs to come back. Children are, when they're that young, they have such a huge imagination, and I think it's important to expound on that at such an early age. And so I started a channel. No one really knows it's my channel, so you're the first to know, DeVante.
Okay.
Yes.
We like exclusives. So enjoy the
journey. I know. And it's called Before We Sleep. And so on that channel, I read stories to children. Okay. Yeah. And so before I even wrote the book, I was like, you know what? It just kind of came to me. I was like, I think it should be called Before We Sleep. It should be about bedtime. I want to bring back families sharing those moments together. I think that's very special. And what was really important to me, with this particular book was really, bring about and including diversity. Mm-hmm. I really wanted that to be depicted in the book because I feel like each family has so many different traditions and cultures, and I wanted each kid to be able to see themselves when they're reading this story. What does bedtime look like for you? Wow. And so that's pretty much, what the book is about.
That is powerful.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have that?
I do.
Come on. We gotta say,
yes.
Come on.
Absolutely. So this is Before We Sleep. And if you want, I can read the first page.
Yes, come on.
Absolutely.
I'm loving this.
Mothers call out to their children as they play outside. Then hugs are shared along with friendly goodbyes. The day has gone and now it's time for bed. Every star in the sky begins to show its head. The moon shines bright, acting as the world's own nightlight.
Oh my God, can I see that?
Yes.
Yo, the pictures in here are freaking beautiful. Who illustrated?
So believe it or not, I kind of did a lot of that with digital editing online.
Wow. Yeah. This looks good.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that's kind of, as you can see, I really wanted to portray, a lot of diversity.
Y'all, the artwork in here is, listen, if you got children, especially for us, and look at the diversity that she was talking about. Oh, y'all, Before We Sleep. Make sure y'all go online and get this one as well. I love this. So what is next for you? You as a children's book author, where do you see yourself between the next 5 to 10 years with, because you have great writings.
Thank you so
what
much.
is next for you with the books and all that coming up?
Honestly, DeVante, so I've already been working on quite a few books that I have written. So obviously the next steps is getting those published. I really want to start working with other illustrators because I think it's so important to collaborate, with other writers, yeah, and
Absolutely.
support one another. That's important.
Okay,
So
I'll be a collaborator.
yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Please.
No,
Yes.
we were talking before the interview, and so
Yes.
first off, for those of you who don't know, this show, Enjoy the Journey, is based off of the book Enjoy the Journey,
Yes.
written by yours truly, DeVante Lamont. So if you don't have it, you need to go to Amazon and get that.
Absolutely.
And I've always loved to write, but like I said, I've also been an educator for 10 years. And so one of the things as a writer that I've always wanted to do was write a children's book.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes my mind is so adulting that my writing reflects as an adult. So I really want to know this. As a children's author, and how about this, as a writer? As a writer, do you have to shift from example, you writing poetry or an adult's book to how you write a children's book? Like, how does that work?
Absolutely. So that's something that I really, really had to take my time with and be patient with, to your point.
Yeah.
Because I was so used to writing songs, so used to writing poetry. But one thing I found that was the greatest connection between the two, poetry and children's book, they have a lot of similarity, right? Because children's are very much, their attention is drawn to rhyming words, right? So it's structured very much in the same way. So I kind of took from my knowledge of writing poetry and I kind of incorporated into my writing for writing children's books. And then I tried to, especially having children, I think that helped a lot for me, kind of looking at things through their lens. But I think when you're writing children's books, the best thing that you can do is not try to write your best work, right? But think about what they can relate to. Think about what is going to be meaningful and make an impact on them. I think that's what's most important. And I think if you do that, then that's all that matters.
My opinion, and I could be wrong, but I think as adults, I think sometimes the older we get, sometimes we lose that childlike innocence.
Yes.
And we lose that creative spark that we had. Just like you said, children's minds are just open and free.
Exactly.
And so
we tend to overthink as adults, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's really, I don't know. I should probably think about that more. Because that just hit me to today. For me, why is it harder now as an adult to write something fun?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And I will say, another challenge that I face is that with me especially, so my writing beforehand, I'm very much a person that likes to be very metaphorical. And I didn't want to lose that because then I felt like I was, kind of losing myself as an author. So I wanted to still incorporate that in my writing now. So I kind of had to find a way to make it more playful, as you say, and still, bring that about as a writer. So, yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so Jasmine, here to Enjoy the Journey, one of the biggest goals is to encourage the audience. We get a lot of people, and I learned this, during season 1, a lot of the viewers who watch Enjoy the Journey are entrepreneurs, they're creatives, they're writers, they're actors. And so we have a duty here at Enjoy the Journey to the guests that we bring on to share an encouragement or something that could bless someone else. So if you could tell a writer any lesson that you feel will be beneficial to them, what would you tell them in that camera?
What I would say to a writer, especially if you're just starting out, the best thing that you can do is take that first step. Because when you allow yourself to live in fear or live in doubt and not trust God, a lot of times that can lead to missed opportunities, missed blessings, right? And if you're constantly worrying about what the next person thinks, that kind of takes away from what you have to offer. So I would say believe in yourself as an artist, as an author, and just jump into it because you're going to make mistakes, but that's how you learn, So that's what I would say for sure.
Wow, jump in. That is so strong. Jump in and not allowing fear to hold us back because sometimes it's just that first step. And if you take the first step, I always say that God will take the next for you.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Jasmine, this has been such an amazing experience. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Oh, one more thing. Can you tell the people where can they follow you on social media?
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram at jasmine.jewel.washington. Also, as DeVante mentioned earlier, my books are available on Amazon and Lulu.com. And I'll make sure to just keep bringing creative content to you all. And I'm appreciative of all of the support. Thank you so much again, DeVante. You don't know how special this is to me. So I really appreciate
This has
it.
been an honor having you here, and much blessings to your future. And you know you got a supporter in me, okay?
Yes, absolutely. And same here.
we
Absolutely.
gonna connect. I'm serious about that book.
Oh, yes.
I'm serious.
I would love to.
Right.
I mean, this is what I do. I love writing. So anytime I can help someone, that's the whole point of it, right? So.
Period. New book coming soon. All right. Y'all, this has been an excellent time. I have had such a blast with Jasmine. Like, she's fun. So, y'all, thank you for coming to enjoy the journey. And until next time, peace out.